Hello students, welcome to history class. Today we are going to study about Akbar. So after the death of Humayun in 1556, Akbar was only 14 years old when he was crowned as a king. So you can see Bahram Khan, he was the trusted officer of Humayun. He acts as a regent. Regent means he rules on behalf of the minor monarch. So that time Akbar had to face so many challenges. So in that first challenge it came from Hemu. So Hemu, he was the general of one of the later rulers of Sher Shah dynasty, and he had occupied Agra and Delhi. So Bahram Khan, he will defeat and kill Hemu in the battle of Panipat, second battle of Panipat in 1556, and he reoccupied Delhi and Agra. Then in 1562, Akbar, he took over the reins of government and he brought most of the India under his control, and even through alliances also. So next we'll see what measures he had taken towards the Rajput states here. Akbar, he used diplomacy and marriage to make the powerful Rajput chiefs his allies. So he married number of Rajput princesses such as Princess of Amber also. Even his son Salim also he also married so many Rajput princesses. Akbar, he also gave Rajputs high post in his army and government. For that, best example is Raja Todarmal was made the finance minister. Raja Bhagwan Das of Amber and his son Man Singh were granted high ranks in the army. Mansingh was made the governor of Kabul as well as Bengal and Bihar. So like this you can see Rajputs, they also help Akbar in expanding his kingdom. So some of the Rajputs were against to Akbar, like Rajputs of Mewar, they resisted Akbar. So in 1567 to 68, Akbar he captured the fort of Chittor from Rana Uday Singh, and in 1576 he defeated Uday Singh's son Rana Pratap at Haldighati. Somehow Rana Pratap he escaped on his horse Chetak, but still he continued his enmity throughout his life. Next we'll see Akbar's conquest. Akbar, he had conquered Gujarat, Bengal, Kabul, Kashmir, Sindh and Kandahar. You can see in the map here, he also conquered Odisha and northern Deccan. So his empire was stretched from Himalayas and Kashmir in the north to the river Godavari in the south, and from Kandahar in the west to Bengal in the east. You can see how much the empire is extended here. Finally, Akbar died in 1605 and he was buried at Sikandar near Agra, and afterwards his son Salim, he will succeed to the throne. Next we'll see about Akbar's administration. So Akbar's administration, it was based on the Central Asian, Indian and Persian tradition. So about the administration, it is detailed, it is written in Ain-i Akbari, written by Abul Fazl. So next we'll see about the central administration here. So the king, he was the highest tribunal of justice and gave personal hearings to the people's grievances, that is through the audience in the Divan-i Am. So it was a audience, or it was a hall of public audience. So people could speak directly to the king here, and he personally he went on tour and transferred officers frequently to check corruption and promote efficiency. The emperor, he was helped by a council of ministers, and the important minister was Wazir or Prime Minister, and he was also called Diwan, and he was the head of Revenue and Finance Department. The king met his officials in a Divanai Khas, so it was the hall of special audience. Next, we'll see about the provisional administration. The empire was divided into provinces or subas. So each province it was under a governor called subedar. And the subas was again divided into districts or sarkars, and the sarkars were again divided into parganas, which had number of villages. The towns were administrated by kotwals, and their duty was to maintain law and order, then to apprehend the criminals, check weights and measures, maintain the register of people, those who are living in that area. And the police station was called as kotwalis. So, at every administrative divisions, officials were carefully selected and posted, and they were given a regular cash salary, and even sometimes jagirs, that is a piece of land, was given for their service. Next, we'll see about revenue. Land was the chief source of revenue here, and Akbar's land revenue policy it was framed by Raja Todarmal here. So the Raja Todarmal he had fixed the state's share at one third of the average produce of the land, and revenue could be paid in cash or kind. Even farmers they were getting loans from the state also. Next we'll see about the trade. So to promote trade, Akbar he had built a good network of roads, and he removed certain taxes on trade also. The conquest of Gujarat and Bengal it had given him access to the seaports and overseas trade here, that is to Arabia, then Europe, Southeast Asia, China, etc. And the conquest of Kabul, Kashmir, Sindh, and Kandahar, it improved the overland trade in the Central Asia and Persia. So foreign trade fetched high profits here and was controlled by state. Even he encouraged the contact with Europe, and number of Europeans had visited his court here. Next, we'll go to the cultural contributions here. So, Akbar he mixed freely with Hindus, Sufis, foreigners, everyone. Okay, so he gave importance to all the religion here. So, in Akbar's court, there were 9 germs. Okay, so they were like Abul Fazl was there, Fazi, Birbal, Abdur Rahim, Kane Kana, Raja Todarmal, Raja Bhagat Singh, Raja Bhagwan Das, Raja Man Singh, Tansen, Daswant. So, like this, 9 germs were there in Akbar's court here. So Akbar he did not had his formal education, because when he was 14 years old itself he had to rule. He had become the monarch. So he did not get the formal education here, but he was a great pattern of learning, and he encouraged moral education and study of mathematics, astronomy, logic, history, etc. So it is also believed that Akbar's library had more than 4,000 manuscripts here. Akbar had Mahabharat and Ramayana. It was translated to Persian. Abul Fazl, he had translated the version of Mahabharat and believed that Akbar did this to promote understanding among the various religious communities living within his empire here. So Abul Fazl, he was very close friend of Akbar, and he had written Akbar Nama, a biography of Akbar. So the Ain-i Akbari, it is also a part of Akbar Nama, and Fazi, he wrote poems in Persia. Birbal also, he wrote poems and was known for wit and humor. Then Bairam Khan's son Abdur Rahim Khane Kanan, he had composed dohas in Hindi. Tulsi Das, he had written Ramcharitra Manas, and he was noted as Hindi scholar of that time. So when you see music, according to Abdul Fazl, Akbar, he had patronized more than 30 musicians. Like Tansen of Gwalior, he was very much expert in Hindustani style of music, and it is also said that he had composed Rag Darbari in Akbar's honor. And when you see painting, so painters from different regions of India had come to Akbar's court here, and um, they had a tasveer khana also. Akbar, he had tasveer khana, that is painting studio. So there they developed a new style of painting by blending Indian and Persian techniques here. So the famous painters were Baswan and Daswant here. Next, when you see about architecture, the architecture of Akbar's reign was influenced by Indian, Persian, and Central Asian styles here, and they had used red stones more. So, in Humayun's tomb in Delhi, which was built by Humayun's wife, and it was constructed during the Akbar's reign itself. And even Akbar built a new city at Fatehpur Sikri, and he also built Agra fort. So this is about architecture. So when you see about the social reforms, Akbar, he tried to remove social evils. So, like he took steps to check polygamy, child marriage, and practice of sati. He also made widow remarriage legal also, and he also tried to restrict the sale of liquor. Next, we'll see about the religious policy here. Akbar, he treated all religious groups equally. As a result, you can see he abolished pilgrim tax, jizya, and he even celebrated certain Rajput festivals also. And he was greatly respected the Sufi saint Salim Chusti and Ramdas, and the fourth Sikh Guru. He granted Guru Ramdas a plot of land in Amritsar, and the Adi Granth, later known as Guru Granth Sahib, it was completed during Akbar's rule itself. Akbar, he had built a hall called Ibadat Khana at Fatehpur Sikri, where you can see all religious people were free to discuss about the religion. So Akbar, he used to note down all good points from these religions, and he introduced a single faith called Dinhe Ilahi, that is divine faith. So Dine Ilahi, it was based on a Sufi philosophy, and it had ideas from all other major religions. But this religion, it did not had any sacred books, and the priest was not there here. Okay, so the idea of Sulhai Kul, that is universal peace and harmony, was important part of Dinne Ilai. So finally, after his death also, this religion was disappeared. Akbar is popularly known as Akbar the Great here. He not only built a vast empire but also made it the most powerful empire of the period here. Okay, so he had used diplomacy instead of force, and he tried to remove social evils, and he promoted literature, music, painting, and architecture. So like this, you can see all good works Akbar had done. Okay, even he did not showed any difference in the religious groups also. So we can say Akbar as the Akbar the Great. So students, today we have completed our chapter, that is Foundation of Mughal Empire. I hope today's topic was clear to you all. So we'll meet in our next session. Thank you children. Have a nice day.